my friends, we are back from the vet. Everyone did super amazing, so I thought I'd introduce you better to all the cats. This first boy is Loki. He is very long, very big, very nervous. He had the worst time at the vet, and then as we were setting up to record this introduction video, he was very hissy and throwing a fit. Loki has a lot of anxiety. I named him after the Marvel character. Well, I'm sure you can guess if you're a Marvel fan. I love Loki. I think he's hilarious and bougie, and Loki here kind of gives me the same vibes as him. I'm just gonna give each one a little introduction, a little brush, and their nails trimmed because they desperately need it. Loki is very upset because he got updated on all his shots. He is the vet's biggest hater, but he always does super well because he's too nervous to fight back. Instead of fight or flight, he just kind of collapses and accepts his fate. He did so good, but he does need some dental work. I don't know if you can see his, he's got some, get out of my way, big chompers. He's gotten some teeth cleanings in the past. I try to keep up with brushing them and giving them plenty of good food to help with the plaque and all that, but I think he just has really bad genetics, so that's something we gotta look into. Also, as you can probably see, he tends to be very dandruffy. Only when I brush him. The vets always say his skin looks pretty good, pretty fine and healthy. He's just a flaky boy. He's a little dry, but that's okay. I don't necessarily want to try to give him a bath. I think he might hurt me. He's not the calmest boy. Already struggling now, but he usually doesn't fight me too bad. Usually he's pretty good about it. He just kind of accepts whatever's going on with him. Here's Kaiba being an absolute angel. You can see my boy's stiffness. This is his favorite move anytime he's being relocated anywhere. He just stiffens up like a board. He thinks if he just plays dead, everyone around him will believe he's dead and leave him alone. This has never worked for him in the past. But he is a very good boy overall. He is just very outspoken. If he is upset, he will let everyone in the household know he is upset. He does not like strangers. He's very shy. He especially hates men. No particular reason, being that he is a man himself. He's just not a fan. I don't know why. He's always been like that. Even as a little baby, he would never come out and introduce himself to any boys, only the girls. Loki here is a very girl's girl. As my oldest, he is 5 years old. My biggest cat. My unhappiest cat. Everything bothers him, everything annoys him. He's already done with this, he wants to leave. But he is like the softest cat, I promise you that. He is so silky smooth. I try to take good care of all their brushings and their nails so they don't mess up any furniture. So far they've been really good about that. You did so good for your introduction. Everywhere he walks, he crouches all the way down. He thinks if he gets as low as possible, no one can see him, even though he is the largest cat alive. So since this little angel is here, this is Power. She's named from Chainsaw Man. She really mimics Power's aesthetic and her rattiness behavior. She is the bestest, sweetest little girl, but she, deep down in her soul, is a rat. She's about a year old now. She just went into the vet for the first time, got all her shots and treatments. They said she's looking beautiful and healthy, but I just gotta schedule her to get spayed now. I don't wanna take any risks. She was found outside, so I don't really know what her origin story is, but she's super affectionate always. I haven't had too many problems with her besides her just getting into everything and anything. Things she's not supposed to be a part of, she makes it her goal to be a part of it. Like stealing the mics. She steals a lot. That's her biggest crime. Look, she's already trying to steal it. She likes to steal. She likes to commit petty crimes. No! Does not listen very well. I can tell you that. Anything I expect from her, I know to just put that expectation right out the window, because I know she's not gonna listen to me. She's just in her own little world. All she can focus on is this. Little ratty girl, stop it. Though they're all pretty good about getting their nails trimmed. No one really fights me that much. I think just the more you do it, the more used to it they get. Showing them your freshly clipped nails. She's a little sassy girl. I've never owned a female cat. I've only owned male cats. So I really like the vibe she brings. She is the tiniest one. She is like the puniest cat alive. But also I compare her to Loki a lot, and compared to him, she is like the size of just one of his legs. Gotta do the back ones. I'm surprised she did not hiss or fight anyone at the vet. She did really well. She's usually a little nervous around new people, but doesn't really fight. She can't stand dogs, right? Doggy. Say hello to her at the vet, gave her a little sniff, and she instantly tried to attack him. She threw herself against the cage and hissed real loud and tried to start a fight, and then she does that really ugly noise, which I hate. But she's a good girl. She's so pretty. She's very polite when she wants to be. But her biggest nickname around the house is Ratty, Miss Rat, because she just, if you've watched Chainsaw Man and you know the character Power, just put that in a cat. She is her. She is all over the place. She thinks she can do no wrong. Even when she's in the middle of doing wrong and she's being yelled at, she's still like, me? Could never be me. Right? You do no wrong. Even though you were a hassle here already. Good job! Let me find the last one. And this little dude is Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh! You can tell we're big nerds in this house. Kaiba is the most well-mannered cat. He is so friendly. He loves meeting strangers. His best friend at the moment is a Doberman named Enzo. He loves playing with him. He really goes at him. He shows no fear. He's very sure of himself, very demure. This boy is the definition. He's always so sweet, but he is the most vocal cat I've ever met. If he feels the attention is not on him, he will make it known by screaming. And he will not stop screaming until he gets the attention he so desperately deserves. I've done this a million times, but I always get nervous about cutting their nails, just in case. I would hate to clip one. So far, I don't want to jinx myself, but I've been on a good streak, I think, because they are so well-mannered, it helps with this process. As you can see, no one really fought me. Kaiba is also about a year. We found him at the same time we found Power, and he is getting scheduled for a neutering because we don't take any risks and we are responsible pet owners. Your back ones are still looking fine. Kaiba is like, he's very much like a ragdoll cat. You can put him in any position and he just kind of accepts it and plops down and just goes with the flow always. Always. He's so sweet, loves attention. He's probably our best boy. He's so well-mannered. I cannot get over it. But he is very obnoxious. He never shuts up for 1 second. If a door closes and he's not in that room with you, you're gonna hear about it for about an hour until you let him in. He does not like to be left out of anything. I think black cats are definitely my favorite, if you couldn't tell, because we got 2 of them. They're pretty easy to tell apart. You just gotta look at their face. Also, Kaiba's a little smaller than Loki, but it gets a little confusing when they first walk into the room. You really gotta... Who are you? Oh. But he has a very relaxed face compared to Loki. Loki is always on high guard, like the end of times are coming. So we got 3 right now. That's all I have the space for. Unfortunately, if I could, I would own so many more cats. I would have a whole barn of them. I think I definitely want to stick with having black cats just because I like their personality the best. Come up here, be part of the video. Come on. Little Ratty. Yeah, I love their vibes the best. Their personalities are always just on point. I've never had issues with black cats. I think they're the most loving, they're like lap dogs. They just want to be next to you all the time, want to be always where you're at, doing whatever you're doing. Kaiba and Loki are always nearby, just watching TV with us, hanging out. They love to just be a part of it. Power here likes to really go on her lonesome. Usually I have to hunt her down because she likes to sleep very far away. Everyone's upstairs sleeping and having the time of their lives, and Power is all the way downstairs in the pitch black darkness in the corner, happy as a clam. She's been purring nonstop this whole time. She is so sweet and loving. She's just so ratty. I've never owned a gray cat, so I don't know if this is like a personality thing If you have a gray cat, please let me know if they're also ratty, or if it's just my fault because we named her Power, so she kind of had to take on that role and behave like Power, which I'll give her credit, she does so well. But yeah, those are our 3 babies. Everyone did so good. A little tender from the shots, but for their first time, they did amazing. I love hearing that my babies did good. I'm sure all pet owners can agree. There's nothing better than getting your pet back and hearing they were so sweet, they were so nice, no problems. It's like, I know, my children are very well behaved. I love them more than anything. I don't think I could envision my life without cats, honestly. Like now that I've had my own, I want to rack them all up. I want one in every color. I would really love a tortoise shell. I think those are like my favorite colorings of cats. But right now we just don't have the room as much as I would love it. But everyone gets along so well. They're such a cute little family. Loki does not do his responsibilities of being the oldest sibling. He just lets them do whatever they want, run all over him. They full on jump him all the time and he just kind of accepts it, lays back, and he's like, okay, this is my faith. So yeah, those are our cats. I love them. No one wants to be in this video with me. Come on, where do you keep leaving? Come here. As you can see, they all shed so much. I am coated, but that's the price you pay because everyone looks so shiny and silky and they're beautiful. And they got such praise for being healthy weights. Even Loki. Everyone thought he was a fatty at first, but then you keep pulling him out and he just keeps extending. He's just a large boy. He's got a lot of fluff. Thankfully, he's healthy weight. I think it's really funny because Power, we found out, is 8 pounds, Kaiba is 9, and Loki is 10. So I think that's super, super cute. But yeah, those are our pets. I don't know. Everyone's fed already. Not much going on here. We're probably just gonna settle in for the night, relax. We were all up super early, so I just wanna lay back, watch some anime, get more inspirations for more cat names in the future. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't knock things over. What do you guys think of their names? What are your cats' names? Are you anime fans? What's your favorite anime? I have 1,000,001 questions because I want to get to know you guys so bad. I want us to be so close, like we're friends on FaceTime. Everyone's abandoned me. They don't really like being in the camera. Loki especially, he hates being out and about during the daylight hours. He usually sleeps from sunrise to sundown, and then the second it is pitch black, then he's like, oh, okay, it's night, I'm safe, I'm gonna stroll around and wreak havoc, I guess. Oh, but we did find a dead black widow in the house yesterday, so I got really paranoid, so I had to check all the cats over, make sure no one was showing any signs of any bites. I'm assuming Power got to it because it is in her nature to show no fear and do crazy things all the time, so I think she got to it. I saved it in a little bag because it's like so perfect and so cool. I love spiders so much, so I want to kind of like preserve it in like a little jar. I just need to find the perfect jar and figure out how to preserve it. I've done like butterflies and stuff in the past, but I've never done like spiders because I don't know how to like untangle their little legs. You know, when they die, they go like that. I don't know how to like extend them back. But when I do, you will be the first to see it. And yeah, now I'm going to get a little snack because I am starving. Since I woke up, I've been busy. I totally forgot to eat breakfast, so I'm gonna make a snack, settle in for the day, and figure out what we're gonna do. Hello and welcome back. I'm sorry if it's really loud. The AC is on right now and I'm still learning how to use my mic correctly, so apologies for that. I know I'm pretty soft-spoken, so I'm trying to be loud enough that you can distinguish me from the But yeah, it's a new day. I just woke up. It's hair washing day, so I figured while I got all this in my head, soaking and seeping in, I'd talk a little bit more about my interests so you can get to know me a little bit better, and hopefully you either think my interests are cool and you'd like to see more of it, or you think I am really creepy. It seems to be one or the other every time I talk about this. People are either like, oh, that's awesome, or you kind of freak me out now, which I get. I want to start off before I get into my interest by saying my first job I ever wanted to do when I was a kid was a paleontologist, the people who find the dinosaur bones. I'm really into dinosaurs, I'm really into fossils and bones, and she's really into my microphone. So that's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be that person out there finding the biggest fossil, but you know how expensive schools are, so I don't think that's something I'll be able to do, but I still like finding bones. I'm really good at it. I have a natural bone detector. Anyone who's ever been into the woods with me can testify for me. I just have a natural radar for them. Like, I always start off by staying on the path, and I just kind of like feel around, and I wait for my brain to go boop, 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 and I'm like, oh, there's bones over in this direction, and I kid you not, like 9 out of 10 times when I follow that instinct, I end up finding really cool bones and skulls. I've been collecting them for like my whole life, honestly. I have a really nice deer skull. I have like the top of a deer skull with some of the antlers still intact. I have top and bottom jaw of a coyote, a red fox, and I believe I have a possum somewhere. If that's something you'd like to see, I currently have everything still packaged away because I am still new here, so I want to find a nice place for everything. I want to get like a big case with like the glass windows so I can really display everything without the cats jumping in and trying to eat all my things, because you know, they like to chew on them, which I get. But yeah, if that's something that you'd like to see, I would love to like have a little video talking about all my findings and how much I love them. It's really funny because I'm actually like terrified of bugs. I cannot stand bugs. Anytime I go bone hunting, I always have to wear like 3 layers of gloves on me just in case I touch a bug. I cannot stand them. Some bugs are okay, you know, the pretty ones. I'm very specific with my bugs, but a majority of times I am shrieking and eeping and wincing in horror because I hate them, especially beetles, which are usually found on all the skulls I have ever located. I have like, my favorite pieces are like the vertebrae. I have like a whole system from a deer, I believe. I don't know, I'll have to pull it out and lay everything out and show you guys. I do collect some bugs that I find interesting. I keep them in like little jars and I preserve them in hand sanitizer. That's something I learned in like elementary school that you could do. So immediately I went out, I found some bugs, I put them in jars, I filled it with hand sanitizer, and then I kind of use like little toothpicks and stuff to like get their legs out, get their wings out. I have like bumblebees, wasps, I have some butterflies. I've been learning how to like preserve them better because I just really like displaying them. Like when they're alive, they terrify me, but when they're dead, I really want to like admire them because like, I don't know, their structures, and especially like the wasp and the hornets I have, you know, I'm really like fascinated by like how thin their bodies get and like how long their legs are. It's like, I don't know, I just love looking at them. If that's something you're interested in, I would love to have like a walkthrough of like everything I have, and maybe you can be there when I finally find a display case and I'm setting everything up. I want to make it very naturey. I've always been a big nature person. My family's always been into nature. Since I could walk, we've always been out hiking and moving and traversing through the woods. My dad is actually the reason that I got so into bones, because he's the only person in my family that didn't think it was weird that I was collecting them. You know, we'd go on a little walk and we'd come back into the car and I'd have my pockets full and everyone's like, what's in your pockets? And I'm like, nothing. It's a whole cat skull. They're like, how did you find this? I'm like, I don't know, it found me. I'm telling you, I walk into the woods and I go beep, 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 beep. Something's over there. So I head in that direction, and sure enough, I always find the best preserved bones. I'm not even kidding. When I show you my collection, if you're into that and you don't think it's spooky or weird, I think you're gonna think it's really cool, because like I really take the time to like clean them off. I soak them and then I try to bleach them to give them that nice like shine, or if I can, I like to really like let them sit in the sun, because I feel like you can only clean and bleach them so much if they've been sitting out there for so long, and I don't really know the proper way to preserve things because I'm not a paleontologist, as you can tell. But yeah, that's something that's like always been my biggest interest. I love bones. I love just like thinking about like their story. Like this was like a whole living thing, just like out in the world, going about its day. And now it's not here anymore, but we still leave like a piece of us behind. And throughout time, yeah, bones like deteriorate and some of them are harder to keep intact than others. But yeah, I've always been into like that kind of stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of taxidermy. I don't think I'll ever attempt because I think there's a lot of steps required for that, and I just don't have like the patience or the proper technique to like lay things down right. And I don't know how I feel about like dealing with skin and fur, you know, because you kind of gotta like lay the fur on top of the mold. I don't know why that freaks me out. I'm really not a hair person. Even my hair, like when I'm brushing it and I get like some hair falling out, I'm like grossed out by it immediately. I could not tell you why. This is why I did not make it as a hairstylist. Like I said, I went to school for it, but like there's something about the second the hair is no longer connected to the body, I want no part of it. I don't know how to explain it. It might be like a weird OCD thing. I'm totally fine with my hair on my head, but if a strand of hair falls off my head and lands on my arm, I'm repulsed. I don't like it. I'm not really into like fur at all. You know, they have like the little like rabbit hides and stuff, and they're really cute and soft, but like something about that just weirds me out, which I've never understood why, because the bones themselves don't weird me out, and I feel like if anything should creep you out, it's the bones, because that's so deep within us. But I'm rambling. I don't know, I'm just excited. I really love them. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. I would love to have like a walkthrough once I get everything unpacked and laid out, because I really miss seeing them, but it's like, I don't have a dress or anything, and I wanna make sure they're perfectly safe, because I know the cats will get into them immediately. Cats being cats, anywhere they're not supposed to go, they go. So yeah, I think being in nature is probably my favorite thing. Any chance I get, I am always in the woods. I try to be very cautious because of ticks and snakes, and apparently in this area there's some wild boar. I can't even get into how terrified of boars I am. They seem so scary to me because they're aggressive. I'm not into that aggression, so I try to be very, very cautious. I always like, you know, tape up my boots, make sure no bugs can get up there. I'm very careful about not touching poison ivy, which I don't know how. I've been so lucky all my life. Like looking back, I'm constantly walking through fields of poison ivy and I've never gotten anything on my skin. No matter how hot it is, I always try to be like completely covered just so I don't end up with scrapes and cuts and bugs and weird plants stuck all over me, you know. But I really do just like being out there. I feel like that's where I'm at most peace, because I feel like a lot of people stay on the path as you're expected to do. Most places will tell you stay on the path. That's not my vibe, because the bones aren't on the path, you know? So I really like going way off where I know no other people are gonna go, because a majority of people aren't out and about looking for bones, you know? Fair enough. But yeah, that's probably like my biggest interest. I love the creepiness of it. I actually have recently got a little mummified vampire bat. Actually, I think I have him right here that I can show you. Yes, I do. Are you excited, Power? You like showing off? This is my little bat. I hope you can see him really well. I'll try to bring him a little closer. But he even comes with like a tiny little stand and strings, so I kind of want to get like a little like dome to put him in, because I want to have him hanging. I'm sure you've seen on like Etsy where people have like the bones and then like the moss and the flowers in there with the little lights in there, and it looks very fairy tale. This is like my favorite find. I love Bat so much. I think he is so cute. I cannot wait to display him, honestly. Like, I love all these little things. Do you like him? That's also why I got black cats, because they just radiate spooky energy and I just love it. I've really been into all that. Been dabbling in witchcraft for maybe about 10 years now. I do consider myself a pagan, but I am not like a crazy religious person. I'm more of like, I believe in what I see physically. Isn't he cool? What should we name him? Loki is my biggest supporter. Anytime I bring anything spooky home, he approves. That's rude. But yeah, I love anything mummified, anything dead. I've been trying so hard to find a snake for like 5 years now. I've been desperately trying to find a snake because I really am obsessed with their 1 million rib cages. I think like when they're laid out in a display, like all wiggly, it's just so cool to me. I don't know, I can't explain it. I love bones, I love taxidermy, I love anything mummified. Let me put him away because I already know these cats are gonna try to eat him, showing too much interest. But yeah, that's probably like, I don't know, the weirdest thing about me, I guess. Where do we go from here? I think of what else I love more than I love bones. Really not much. I think I just really enjoy being out in nature, connecting with that the most. I love being like alone out there, just me and the wind and my thoughts. I luckily have never ran into anyone out in the woods when I'm exploring and finding things. I do look for things a lot of the time on like train tracks. Very dangerous. Do not go on train tracks. Never do that. Please don't ever do that. But little critters tend to get hit by trains a lot, so that's usually where I'll find like my possums and raccoons and coyotes, because they're very scavenging animals, so they tend to take their time, go out there, see whatever's been hit and kind of eat off that. And then yeah, I usually like the best way to find things, if you're interested in bones, I like to go on like Google Maps, and I kind of like to look at like forest preserves in the area, and I kind of like to see like what kind of animals are very heavily populated in that area. And then from the Google Maps, I kind of decide like what section of the woods I want to check out. With finding bones, I think best places to find, I don't know how to explain this, but I always look for like deep crevices. You know, if anything's really hilly, things tend to get like washed away and swept down into the bottom of the hill. So I feel like that's like where I have the best luck with finding things, but mostly it's instinct. I want to say, like, I just have like a really good feel and a vibe when I go out there. I can tell exactly where I need to go when I'm looking for things. I do collect a lot of other witchy things, like I love collecting mushrooms. I have a bunch of snake sheds somewhere. I'm really into like herbs and all that. I have so many little things. I love collecting shells and all that, like, you know. I've been trying to make like, I do like making like wind chimes and stuff. I'm really into collecting bird feathers. I do have like a large collection of that as well. So yeah, if you want to see that, I would love to show you, because I know in the move, my bugs definitely got mashed around, so I'll have to like re-preserve them, because I know last time I checked them out, they were like all lopsided and wonky in their little jars, so I'll have to dump those out and then refill them. So if that's something you would like to see, or maybe you want to do it yourself, I would love to do a little video about that and like my little process of that. Just let me know. Hopefully you think that's cool and not scary. But yeah, I think everyone who knows me very well knows that's like my biggest interest, and I'll have people call me all the time like, hey, I'm redoing my porch and I found some weird bones underneath here. I don't know if you want to check it out. Say less. I'm there in 5 minutes. I'm pretty good about knowing what I'm looking at because I've been collecting them for so long. Right now I am in the search for a cat skeleton, because cats are probably like amongst my favorite animal. I love them so much, and I feel like they just for centuries have been associated with witchcraft for a reason. So I would love to have that. As for my own animals, I've never kept bones from any of my animals that have passed, mostly because I think it's just too personal. I feel like when you go out into the woods and you find like a raccoon skull, you're like, oh my god, this is crazy, because I didn't have a personal connection with that raccoon. But I feel like if I would have raised that raccoon myself, I probably would have just buried him and not came back for his bones, because I don't know, I feel like it's too personal. Especially like if you're a pet owner, you know how devastating it is to lose a baby. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's better to just leave them where they're at, but then at the same time I'm out here like not leaving them where they're at. I don't know if that's selfish. I don't know how to explain it, but like if any of my cats were to pass, I don't think I would keep them, as much as I really love, like a lot of people have been doing those like display cases where it's like a big glass case and then you have like your pet's bones laid out in like a position where they're like sleeping, and it's covered with the flowers and the moss, and oh, it looks so magical and I love it. I don't know if I could do it. I feel like just because I have that personal connection with them and they spend so much time with me that I don't want to be reminded of that loss. if that makes sense. So I've never kept any of their bones. I know exactly where every single pet I've ever had has been buried. I go to visit them as much as I can. But yeah, I've never redug them up just because personal reasons, I guess. I don't know, I guess that's where I draw my weird line at. But yeah, recently found a little pigeon skull and it's like this big and it's super cute and I love it. But like I said, everything's packaged away right now and I don't really want to pull everything out and then just have to put it back where it's at because I feel like that's gonna make even more of a mess, and I kind of have like a good idea of where everything is right now, so I want to leave it there so when it comes to unpacking them and displaying them, I know exactly where to look. I don't have to rummage through and be like, oh my god, I could have sworn I had this here or I had that there, you know. So that's something I'm looking forward to. I don't know, like I said, I'm really into dinosaurs. I am really dyslexic, so I could not tell you any names off the top of my head. I can't spell any of them out for you either, but I've always been into dinosaurs. I think they're just so cool. I am definitely opposed to bringing them back from extinction. I know we're working on bringing the woolly mammoth back, and I'm kind of okay with that because I feel like that's okay. But I feel like I've seen way too many Jurassic movies to want dinosaurs back. I feel like you own reptiles, you know deep in your soul. If your leopard gecko was the size of a school bus, he probably would eat you without hesitation. Reptiles kind of freak me out. I love them so much. I've worked with a lot of reptiles. My friend fosters a lot. She's always in and out with her leopard gecko, crested geckos. She works with a lot of snakes, which I, again, adore. I would love to have a snake in the future, but I feel like I myself, I've helped taking care of them, but I've never owned any reptiles of my own. And I know a lot goes into them with like housing, the proper food, proper lighting. I feel like I'm just too uneducated and honestly lazy for that right now. Maybe if I got like a really like low maintenance reptile, but I don't know, I feel like most of them are very high maintenance because you really got to take care of like the lighting, skin, and then you know the whole shedding thing and helping them soak. And I feel like that's just something I would not be good at, so I wouldn't be able to give it like its bestest life. So I stick with cats because they're honestly the easiest thing. They're very on their own, which I like. You know, when they want attention, they come get it, and then when they're over the attention, they leave. And I really respect that because I'm kind of like the same way, you know? But yeah, that's probably my biggest interest. I could talk about bones for hours and hours and hours. I can't wait until I can finally pull them out and look at them again. Let's see. But besides bones and nature, but there was a bug. Like I said, I had to kill a beetle the other day. And I can get rid of bugs if I need to. We've been having a lot of like stink bugs come in through the house and they're huge. They're not like your regular little stink bugs, they're massive. And beetles especially freak me out because they have armor. Sometimes when you hit them, it's not enough and they're still stronger than ever, and then I feel like they're coming for revenge, and that scares me even more. I don't like touching alive bugs, which is funny because I'm totally okay with preserving dead bugs. Like I said, I got weird limitations in my brain I'm trying to work through, but yeah, if it's alive, I want nothing to do with it, no part of it. If it touches me, I will scream and spring 5 feet into the air like a cat. You've seen like those videos where like you put like a cucumber behind your cat and they turn around, they go, nee! They just like bolt 10 feet in the air. That's how I am with any type of bug. I would really love to like find a praying mantis though. I think those are really interesting. Like I said, I'm very specific with my bugs. I'm okay with like butterflies. I love moths. Praying mantises are dope. Ants are my biggest op. I don't like ants. I actually do have like a little jar of fire ants that I'm saving to do some like hexes with. But yeah, I don't know why I'm so afraid of bugs. It's got to be something in my childhood. I don't know. I feel like I've always been in nature and always dealing with them, so I shouldn't be afraid of them. But it's also like, I feel like there's over 100 million different types of bugs, and what looks like a regular little thing could have like the deadliest disease. You know how like some of those ticks, you get bit by a tick and then you're allergic to meat? And you can't ever enjoy a hamburger for the rest of your life? Like, that makes no sense to me. That's what freaks me out. What looks like a ladybug could actually be a venomous copycat ladybug disguising itself to make you drop your guard. And that's why I have trust issues. I don't like things pretending to be other things that they're clearly not. I don't like to be fooled. Not a fan. So yeah, I'd say that is me. Yeah, probably my biggest interest, I think. I don't think there's anything that I love like as equally as much, honestly. I just love finding bones. I love pretending I'm a little paleontologist and I'm finding some crazy dinosaur. That's my biggest hope, that I'm always out in the woods and I'm purposely looking for bones, that one day I will get so lucky and I will somehow discover a dinosaur, or at least find a dinosaur bone, you know, like how we're always finding like the old shark teeth and stuff. That's really cool, but I want to find like a big, thick bone. I actually found what I believe are horse bones, but they were so deep within the ground I did not have a shovel, so I had to bury it and cover my tracks as best I could so no other bone experts could steal my bones. So I plan on going back one day, and I got a really good feeling there is a whole horse skull in the ground at that location. I know it deep within my soul it's in there, because there's some equestrian places like a couple miles near. So I feel like back in the day, you know, I've either discovered like a horse graveyard, which would be insane. Some animals get too sick, some just don't last the winter, so there's always that little area where you go to dump all your deceased animals, unfortunately. And I know for a fact, somewhere around here, someone owns sheep, and I don't have any sheep bones. So that's my biggest mission right now, to see what's in my area and figure out where to go next, because I want to find something new. I feel like most of my bones are deers and coyotes, because that's always been like the most populated animals in my area, but I've already seen a lot of different animals that I'm not used to seeing, and I'm really hoping I can find some really cool bones. So maybe we can go on a little adventure together. If you're like into all that nature thing, let me know. I would love to take you on one of my little explorations and show you exactly what I mean by I just have a natural radar in my brain, my little bone radar. I'm telling you, I walk in, I go that way, and I'm always right. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm telling you, get me out in the field, take me to where they know dinosaurs are, and I will find a new breed of dinosaur like that. I have all the faith in myself. I know I could do it. I just don't have the money or the resources to get out there and do it. Someone needs to just trust my judgment. If you're a paleontologist, get me on your team. I promise I'll make it so worth your while. Just give me a chance. So yeah, besides bones, yeah, I think that's like really where my heart lies. I just love nature. I love animals. I know 1,000,001 animal facts. I grew up only watching Discovery Channel and Animal Planet and all that. I never watched like reality TV until I got into like my adult life. So I'm just full to the brim of all this animal knowledge and no one to share it with. So if you're interested in animals, let me know. Maybe you guys can let me know your favorite animal and we could just talk about some crazy facts you might have not known. Nature, bones, paleontology, trying to keep track of my rambling and what I've even been saying. I have no idea what I've been saying this whole time. I'm sorry if I've just been trying to get better at this. That's probably my biggest interest, and that is what I will relate to the most. If you ever want to talk about that, or if you ever have questions on that, I would love to ramble on for another hour about this. Meow meow. He's not getting enough attention. He's got to make that aware. You see them? Our friends? He's also my bug detector. I've taught him to, you know that little chatter cats do when they're like, meow, 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 meow. I taught him to do that and stay looking at the bug so I can kill it, and then he gets 1,000,001 treats for successfully finding the bugs. Like I said, one of them killed a black widow the other day. I cannot wait to preserve that one. I think it's like the coolest spider find ever, and I know it's gonna make like the most awesome charm. Stop whacking me. So yeah, let me know if you think that's really cool or if you think that's really creepy, because that seems to be like the general consensus of it. People either love it and they're into it, or they think I'm secretly a psycho. I'm not. I'm a very nervous person. I cry every time I gotta make a phone call and schedule my own doctor's appointment. I'm not scary, I promise you. I'm not intimidating. I just like the creepy things in the world, because I feel like the creepy things don't get enough love. And that's such a shame, because there's so much beauty in horror and people don't really take the time to like understand that. They think like bones are just dirty and infested with germs and you shouldn't touch it. And it's like, I'm not one to judge anyone's hobbies, because I understand I probably have a very weird hobby. Most people in their free time are not just digging around in the dirt trying to find bones. That's fair, but I feel like you should try it sometime. You know, I feel like it's a big reward when you're out there like trotting through the woods for like 8 miles and you're ready to call it, and then you find a get out of there, trying to be sneaky. you find an entire like rib cage still connected, or my favorite is, like I said, the vertebrae. I love when I find like whole spine pieces still connected. That's probably like my favorite thing, especially when you can pull it out and it's still connected, not falling apart. Like, oh, are you kidding me? That's crazy. I would love to eventually like have my own little like, I don't know what they're called. I call them bug pits. You know, where like people have like little like cases where they have like beetles and like all those bugs that really break down like deceased animals, and they'll lay the animal, like if they find a snake, they'll put the snake in there and they'll do like a time-lapse video of like all the bugs like eating away at all of it and cleaning it perfectly. And it's like, I would love to have one of those, but I'm so terrified of bugs that like, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could bring myself to do it and deal with that many bugs and touch them, but I feel like it would be worth it because like the end result of those bones is always so amazing. They clean it so well. So I'm looking into it. Maybe in the future I won't be so petrified of bugs and I'll understand that they're here to help me and not hurt me. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. Hopefully you like it and don't think it's spooky. Yeah, how do you feel about it? Loki's my biggest fan. He loves bones, he loves looking at them and trying to eat them the second I turn my back on him. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna go wash all this out of my hair and I will see you soon.